If you use Airtable with clients, eventually you will run into the same problem. How do you let your clients interact with your information without exposing your entire Airtable backend? Well, that's exactly what we're exploring in this video, a clean client portal created directly in Airtable using interfaces. Hey there, I'm Alex Knowles from automationhelpers.com, where we help businesses streamline their operations using industry-leading portals, apps, and integrations. Now, the nice thing about this setup we are looking at is we are not building a complicated app. We're simply creating a cleaner way for our clients to interact with the data, with the information that is already sitting in our Airtable base. So instead of exposing our entire Airtable backend, we create a more focused way for our clients to interact with what matters. Now, the build that we are going to look at today is easy enough to set up for most Airtable users and more than enough for most businesses out there to use as their client portal system. So let me show you the Airtable base we're working with first. This is essentially our internal CRM and operations system. We've got clients, projects, tasks, updates, files, approvals, communications, activities, all of those connected together through linked records inside our Airtable tables. And internally that works perfectly. But the second you start involving clients, well, the experience becomes really important because clients shouldn't be digging through the backend trying to figure out where things are, what's allocated to them, what's relative to them, what matters to them, and what they're actually looking at. And obviously from a security perspective, you don't want clients seeing other clients, internal workflows, procedures, admin views, team contacts. No. So the goal of the portal is actually pretty simple. It creates a much cleaner, safer, focused, and easier experience for clients to interact with the information that matters to them. Now, the first thing we need to think about is structure, because your client portal is only going to be as solid as the structure that you have created beneath in the backend, the database. For example, tasks should be linked to projects. Projects should be linked to clients. Files should be connected to the correct records, and updates should be attached to projects. That relational structure is what makes Airtable such a powerful system and what will allow your interface to actually be useful in the first place. So let's jump into interfaces. And the first thing we're going to create is a simple client dashboard. Now, there are a few ways that you could approach this. We could manually build the entire interface and the pages within, or we could lean on Airtable's AI agent Omni to help generate that initial structure for us. And honestly, this is one of the best use cases for Omni because we already have the backend data structured correctly. We already have our linked records, projects, clients, tasks, updates, and workflows. So instead of starting from a complete blank canvas, we can simply describe the type of portal experience we want to create, something like build a client portal where users can view projects, track progress, access files, and review updates related only to their account. And Omni can generate a really solid starting point from that prompt. Now, obviously we want to customize and configure the appearance and experience ourselves, but it really speeds up that initial setup process and kind of helps you get an understanding of how the elements and components work within an interface. And this is the real advantage of Airtable because we already have our structure and our system in place. The projects are there, the tasks are there, the client data is there, and the workflows are already running. So rather than rebuilding everything on another platform, we can simply create a cleaner experience for our clients to interact with the data that already lives in the system. And that's what makes interfaces so useful for this kind of thing. So let's actually jump into Omni, prompt it, and see what we get. Now, one mistake that people make with AI-generated interfaces, apps, portals, is that they massively overcomplicate the prompt. And these models, these AI generators, they just want a clear objective, and that's where they work best. Omni, in Airtable specifically, let's focus on approaching it with layers. The first layer is, what does this interface actually do? What is it supposed to do? From there, everything comes after. So let's start with the bones. What is the purpose of your interface, of the client portal? And for this prompt, I'm going to intentionally keep things simple. I want Omni to help generate the dashboard, the first hub that the client will log in and see, a project view, a task view, approvals, requests, and an overall navigation structure. Side panel, top bar, I don't really mind. Then afterwards, That's where we'll manually apply, or we could try and lean on Omni, but the results aren't that great, to edit and improve and refine the layouts, the labels, permissions, filtering, and the overall client experience. That's by selecting components and jumping into the side panels that pop up to edit those. But firstly, let's focus on the prompt to get the bones built. Now, once we have that overall generated structure that we can see, we can start refining the actual client experience. This is the part that matters the most, not making the portal look fancy, but making it easy for clients to actually use. So on this dashboard, we are surfacing active projects, their current status, of course, recent updates, quick access to files, and pending approvals that are waiting for them to make a choice. All of that is filtered dynamically to the logged in client. So client A won't see the information of client B and vice versa. All of that means that every client sees their own version of the portal automatically. All of that information, but we are not overwhelming the client with too much. And dynamic filtering means that we're not building multiple client portals for each of our clients. Instead, we are using Airtable's relational structure and user filtering to create a single interface. And that interface will change the information it's showing depending on who is currently logged in. So if client A logs in, they only see their projects, their tasks, their approvals, their files, and their requests. And if client B logs in, automatically, it changes to show only their information instead. Now let's take a look at tasks. And this is one of the reasons that most businesses actually build a client portal in the first place, because clients always want visibility. They want to know what's happening, what's overdue, what's completed, and who's responsible for that. So instead of sending constant email updates, we can simply give them a filtered task view directly inside the portal. And because this is Airtable, those tasks are still connected to projects, team members, automations, workflows, statuses inside the backend system. So if any changes are made in the Airtable base, well, that's reflected in the interface, in the client portal. Next up is approvals. And honestly, this is one of the most underrated use cases for Airtable interfaces, because approvals are usually where client communication gets messy. Requests are buried in email threads, Slack messages, files, or someone just forgets that a client asked for something. Well, here we keep them in the same place, and we create a dedicated approvals page where clients can review items, approve deliverables, reject changes, leave comments, all of that in the same place that our work gets done. The client can come in, view projects, tasks, approvals. Then we've got requests, which we're going to take a look at next. This is where clients can submit requests, ask questions, upload files, request revisions, and report any issues. All of that without needing to actually message our team, because it's done within the system that we also get our work done in. And the nice part here is that those requests will go directly into our Airtable base, with the right details, of course, because you control how that information is input. That also means that immediately requests become a part of your operational workflow internally, and the work starts happening and the needle's already moving. And finally, we have team contacts. This is simple, but surprisingly important, because clients always want clarity around who they're working with, who manages the project, who to contact, and where communication should happen. So instead of burying that information in emails, they have a hub where they can find that information quickly, making them feel important. From the client perspective, it feels like they have their own personalized, dedicated portal, but operationally, it's still for you. It's still a single Airtable system underneath. And that's a really important distinction, because that means we don't have to duplicate our data, dashboards, automations, and workflows. Rather, we're creating one operational system with different views and layers on top of that. Now, one thing worth discussing before I leave you is the pricing and client access, because historically, this is one of the biggest pain points of Airtable interfaces and Airtable client portals. If clients need authenticated access to personalized interface views, they generally need access as an Airtable user. And obviously, once you start scaling clients, collaborators, and external users, the pricing conversation becomes important pretty quickly. And this is one of the main reasons external portal tools became so popular around Airtable in the first place. They allow businesses to create client-facing experiences without needing to bring every viewer into Airtable itself. Now, with that said, interfaces have improved a lot. And for many businesses, especially smaller teams or high-value client relationships, keeping everything directly inside Airtable can be a really practical setup. Now, if you want a completely free workaround with Airtable, you can still do a surprising amount using shared interfaces. However, the main limitation is that dynamic user-specific filtering, which only works properly with an authenticated Airtable user. So if external clients are logging into Airtable, well, you can set that up. But if they are not logging into Airtable, well, you'll need to structure your interface's visibility a little differently. In practice, that usually means manually filtering the data you want each client to see or creating separate interfaces for each of your clients. So while it's not a true client portal experience, it is a practical, low-cost way to have your clients interact with your data. But if you need more advanced, secure functionality like secured client logins, personalized dashboards, payment collection, or fully branded portals, tools like Zite or Softr become the better fit. I actually covered this in a video recently where I built an app on top of my Airtable data, so go ahead and check that out here. So if you do decide to go with the free option, or you're currently on the paid and you feel that you're outgrowing interfaces, that's usually when people start looking at dedicated portal platforms, especially if they need external authentication, custom branding, more advanced permissions, client billing, or more app-like front-end experiences. But honestly, for a lot of businesses, interfaces are now good enough to create a really solid experience without overcomplicating things. So if you or your team are looking for help and expert advice, well, don't hesitate to reach out to us. I've also left a link in the description of this video where our team of experts are offering a free 30-minute consultation, so book yours today.